drop.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of the Run Review series. Today I'm stoked to be bringing you guys my 2025 Kicking Horse run. This was a wild one. I had a flu going into this one and I really wasn't too sure how the day was going to turn out, and for it to actually be one of my best runs of the season was, yeah, pretty crazy experience. So let's rewind and let me take you through it. Alright, let me give you a little insight on kind of the in-between events, the commute here, and yeah, how it all came together. So we had just gone back from Val Thorens. We had a little bit of chill time at home, which I was pretty stoked on, and I really wanted to soak that up for as long as I could. And then we had the Kicking Horse comp coming up, so it's nice. The Kicking Horse comp is really nice for me because I can just drive from Whistler. Still like an 8-hour drive, but at least we can still feel somewhat at home with our own trucks. So that was the nice part about it. But yeah, our chill time at home came to an end pretty quick when we got the call and the notice that the Kicking Horse comp will probably start early. So, which is a classic. Almost every competition this year was either postponed or we had to start a couple days early. So that's always tough on the athletes to just leave whatever they're doing and just have to rush out to whatever event they're going to. So luckily I could just hop in my car and make it to the event. But yeah, we only had one day of face inspection. We arrived the night before, had our riders meeting, and then we came to the face inspection. And yeah, the venue is the Ozone here. So it's a pretty iconic venue. It's been going on for a long time now, and I actually had my first Freeride World Tour podium on this venue, so pretty special place in my heart. You can't actually see the run I did the first year I competed on this face, which was about 3 years ago. But yeah, it's on this far looker's left here. Originally, Craig Murray and Marcus Eder had done this line. They pioneered it, and I was so pumped on that line, and I was so stoked when I watched them shred that. So I really want to do that and add my own little flair to it, which I kind of did, not really. I just did like a 360 to a backflip, and somehow that, yeah, that got me in second place. That was the year Max Hitzig did his massive backflip off the George Rodney cliff right here. Yeah, and this season, looking at the face, I was not really too sure what I wanted to do, because the looker's left side that I was just chatting about, it's really short. You only get about 2.5 features, so I wanted a bit more of a run. And so I kind of looked, I did have the idea of hitting the George Rodney cliff. It would have been sick to see myself or someone do a double backflip off that, but I don't think the conditions were looking prime enough to do that. So we were kind of, one guy hit it, but yeah, it was tough conditions. The snow was slow according to the forerunners, but honestly, when we were on course, it was pretty good. So yeah, I was kind of looking, starting from the main start one way up top, riding down the ridge, kind of doing something similar to what Logan Pahota did quite a few years back. I think that was 2018, I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was just super sharky all across the venue this year. So the best line with the most features and the most playful complete run for me looked like out of start 2 here. And yeah, I just kind of looked at the most features. I want a line that was full, like a full line, skiing, turning, and plus as many airs as I could get. And yeah, starting from the start 2 right around here, popping in, and yeah, finding these features. So let's look at the lines here separately. So let me draw this line out for you guys here. See if I can get the pen going. All right. Okay, so this is kind of a line that spoke to me for kind of the whole event, honestly. For me, it seemed like the only line that was in play and that seemed safe with avoiding all the sharks. So it's kind of starting up here, little pop off that, and then yeah, just fly off that. Little backy I had planned, and then land in the absolute flats here. And then, am I way off here? Oh yeah, just kidding, that is not what I was doing. Not that line there. Let's redo that here. So big backy to flat, landing there, and then 1, 2 turns, and then flying off this right here. So this was my, this was my big trick air. Is quite sharky in that takeoff, so you need to find the perfect spot. And I still wanted that downside takeoff, so I knew I wanted to come out at an angle. But there was this tree right here, which is was a bit nerve-wracking for me because with the trajectory that you needed to take to avoid the rocks, it almost looked like it sent you right into the tree. But in my run, you'll see that that was not an issue, and I actually landed way down here right next to that twig there and somehow didn't get snagged up, and then popped off that, and then boom boom, and then just freaking fly off this thing, which was probably the highest speed air I've hit all year. And yeah, so that's kind of the line. The process for that was to just find something simple, find something fun that I knew I would be able to shred, and that was the only line that was speaking to me. So I found my landmarks, made sure I had the right trajectories. To do that, I'll find like a tree on the lip or a rock on a lip that I need to be right next to on the takeoff, or I need to be pointing on that jagged rock just to the left when I take off. So I'm always looking for these little landmarks when I'm picking these lines, and that's kind of how we stay safe out there. If you don't have any landmarks, you're just kind of flying blind off these things. So to avoid going straight into that tree, I kind of I knew I would want to be in between these two rocks here. So I was able to just kind of traject myself a little bit fall line of that, and I knew with gravity I would get pulled down the hill as well. So I was hoping to land right there, but I landed a bit farther over and kind of landed right next to that tree there, and luckily didn't get snagged. And yeah, this one down here was straightforward, just go fast and make the landings work. So luckily I did that, and yeah, so that was kind of my thought process behind this line. Simple, fast, fun, and do some tricks. So before we get into this full line review here, I want to take you through what actually happened. So as you heard in the intro there, I had a bit of a flu, and that was a major play in this event. The previous night in our riders meeting, there's a couple of sick people, and then during the face inspection, I must have caught on to that flu, and by the time we had the riders meeting it was the opening ceremony the following night, I started to feel those major flu symptoms, major headache, big body aches, big fatigue, and I was like, oh no, this can't be happening the night before the event. And yeah, I was struggling through that opening ceremony. It was so long, head was bobbing, and I was just trying to stay awake, and yeah, not an ideal time to get the flu. So luckily I had help from my girlfriend, family, friends, and everybody kind of came to help along with the others. And we had some medication from the Free World Tour, some flu medication, and yeah, just drank a whole bunch of fluids. And honestly, I wasn't even thinking about the comp anymore. I was just focusing on getting over this flu. So by the time the competition hit, I was able to compete. So yeah, let's fast forward to the following morning. I still had these headaches, these body fatigue, and I was not really in the state of making this happen, but I pushed through and got some food, managed to put down some food. Luckily I wasn't throwing up at all, but I managed to put down some food, took some flu medicine morning of, made sure it was daytime so I wasn't sleeping up there, and had a Red Bull, and then yeah, we were off to the races. I hadn't even really thought about the event at all, honestly, and I was just trying to get over the flu. And by the time I was hiking up and I was in the start gate, I did a couple of visualizations of my run, and then I was like, okay, we're here, we're go time. And yeah, my mind was like, I was so chill and mellow. I was just ready to shred, and wasn't even thinking about rankings or how I should place at all. I was just like thinking about the run that I want to ski, and the adrenaline started to pick up, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be sick. Let's have some fun here. So yeah, I think that honestly helped me. Like, these sicknesses helped me a lot just by taking my mind off the event, allowing me to just be present in the moment. And yeah, it was a blessing in disguise. And I think the lesson I learned from that was, don't think too deeply in these events. Just pick your line, visualize it however many times you need, but don't overthink anything. Don't get stressed out, which is obviously hard, but find a way to distract yourself and just allow yourself to enjoy the experience. And then by the time you get in the start gate, you know, you're there, you're just stoked to ski the line. So yeah, let's now that I've given you that background, let's do it. So we're in the start here, start 2, like I was pointing out in our line review, and yeah, all right, we're starting. So there's Big W, my buddy Wei-Tian, and yeah, look at those sun halos there. That's a pretty cool feeling. We're always embracing where we are in the start gate. We're putting a smile on our face and really being grateful. It's another good way to just live in the moment and not stress about the competition. You're just here to have fun, shred, and ski the lines you want. So we start off a little popper, going to a backy. I went way bigger than I was expecting on that. Landed pretty flat. And then, yeah, here I was talking about our trajectory point for this middle second feature here. So you see the rock right here, and then we see the tree on the left, the little twigs on the left here, and we're kind of aiming right towards that halo there. So I didn't obviously plan that the halo was going to be there, but we kind of had that trajectory in mind, and I just know I had to pre-hop because it kind of rolled over after, and we want to catch that nice flat or nice off-camera takeoff with the downside, because that's the best way to hit a cork sev is with the downside takeoff. So yeah, let's do it here. I was hoping I didn't snag a rock, and luckily there was no rock snagged. And yeah, you can see I just landed directly next to that tree. I don't know, honestly I got pretty lucky there. I knew it wouldn't have been the end of the world. It wouldn't have been like landing on a rock if I landed on those trees, but I knew it could have easily taken me down. So I wasn't trying to land quite as far down, but gravity pulled me a little bit farther than I intended, and we landed it nonetheless. And we kept on moving forward with Mach speed and navigated the trees, and boom, boom, and then fly off that, little off balance. And yeah, that was a pretty sick feeling to land that one. I was just pumped that yeah, I made it down alive. I wasn't even feeling the flu symptoms anymore, and stoked to come into my buddy Abel here, who had done the same line and absolutely crushed it, and he actually came second on the day. And yeah, it's a pretty special moment to do that at home in front of my home crowd. First time winning in Canada, so yeah, extremely special. Stoked to make it happen in front of the family, in front of the friends. And honestly, I'm pretty bummed that Kicking Horse isn't going to be here next year, because this is the place for us to have all our friends and family come watch and really enjoy what Freeride's all about. So hopefully I can come back here one day, and yeah. But back to the competition. That was a pretty special run. I knew I could do something like that, and I knew I wasn't pushing my limits at all. So I kind of just knew I put my head down and did it. So let's kind of watch us celebrating here and watch myself be a maniac.
Oh my God!
I'm always in a bit of disbelief when I come down from these runs. I know I can do it, but it makes a relief, disbelief, and seeing all my buddies down there it's special. It never gets old. So, oh, there's the kicking horse. Chatting to my buddy Tom. He was a big supporter. Stoked to have him on board, and
yeah, come on, let the boy enjoy with me.
there's the tour kicking him out from the broadcast. And yeah, this is kind of just that moment, waiting for the score, and even if I'm crashing, it's still exciting to be down there, honestly, and chat shit with your buddies and just kind of see how everyone's runs were doing. And yeah, it's always just a relief to be down at the bottom. So that's when you see a lot of emotions, and Freeride World Tour will do like hot seat cams and stuff, and those can be pretty funny. And so yeah, we can watch the full run, the full broadcast run here from a different point of view. So I'll let Derek on the mic take that over.
On the ski hill. And
My classic stomps I do in the start gate to get the feet warmed up are pretty crucial to really engage the muscles. I always try to do that, stay calm, but put some muscle into it, and boom. Luckily I did those stomps before so I could prep for that flat stomp. And then the 7, missed the blunt unfortunately, and then just followed Abel's exact line. Luckily missed the bomb hole at the bottom, and we're out. Little spread eagle for some fun here, and yeah. Never gets old, never gets old. So that, the score came out. I think I got a 96.7 there. One of my highest scores, except for the previous run review I did, which was a 98 in Georgia. So another top score for me. Super proud of this run, and well, that's about all I have to say for the 2025 Kicking Horse Stop. I hope you guys can give me more feedback. I'll keep doing these and try to keep getting better. So hopefully I can keep giving you some insider info on what I'm doing out there, what my mind's doing, and how my body's feeling on these events. So feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and let me know what run review you want to see next. Cheers.